In this video, I want to show you how to actually host the meeting. As you can see here that I'm logged into my account and I've clicked on meetings already. You may log in, it may be on profile, but I think by default it comes to the meeting schedule. You can see that we have our scheduled meetings here, and we have our first one here that is set to start. So we're going to go ahead and click start, and it says if nothing happens from the browser, open Zoom meetings. So I'm going to do that. It's going to download the host. Now, if you're attending a meeting, you do not have to do that. The host just comes on for the people that are hosting the meeting. And of course, it's popping up on my other screen, so I'm going to bring it over here as soon as it loads. So bear with me just a moment. So we have this screen here. Never fails. Join the computer with audio. So we're going to do that. Says you're using computer audio, and it would be showing here. I can actually start the video. I have that turned off. Show you some things with that in a moment. I'm actually going to join the meeting from, you can see that it already started recording because I had that set by default as well. So we've actually started the meeting, and of course it says I'm talking. Now the people wouldn't see this till I actually start the meeting, start the video or something like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and log in from my other computer so I can see, so that we can have a member on the call here. So let me do that real quick. Okay, we should have the other participant there. So if we scroll down to the bottom of the page here, we can see that we have the second person here. It's kind of weird. I'm hearing myself in my speaker. So what I'm going to do here is manage participants. And you can see that I have host me and not me. I mean, not host, but me. So I have the option here of the two. You can see that I'm speaking, and it's showing the microphone or the little voice thing here. There's flashing, showing that I am talking. And we can mute the other person. So maybe they have noise on their line or the thing like that, some static or whatever. We can actually mute them, and they're muted then, and that cancels that sound from the other side. I can also unmute them, or we can have some more options. So we can ask to start video. I can actually make the other person a host. I can allow them to record or remove them. So we have those options as well. So if we're going to make them a host that, maybe I need to step away or something like that, I could just share that or pass that off to somebody else, and they can become the host. I'm just going to leave it as is for now, and go over some of the other screens for the hosting here. So I can start the video, and if I wanted to on that, we have some options. I can pick the video here, and I can do my own video. I'm not going to do that because it's kind of a mess behind me here, but we could do that, and it would show the video screen. We can invite other people. We can share information. So if I click on share, it's going to ask me what screen. You can see I have a lot open here. I can do screen 2. I can share screen 1, and that will start the meeting for the other person. I could do a whiteboard. I could actually show my iPhone or my iPad if I wanted to show something from there. And maybe I'll cover that, but you can see I have a lot of windows open. I kind of do that over a given day. Kind of a mess, I know, for you, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on screen 2 if I want to right now, and then my other self on my other computer would actually see this here. So I'm going to click that and then click share. You can see which one it's going to do. I can click share, and then on the other side they can see that screen now. So then it's showing this screen, so whatever I bring up here is actually going to be showed to the other person. So if I wanted to bring in one of my other screens, I have this here. Maybe I want to bring in I'll bring that over here. I can open up Google Docs or something like that. Maybe I want to start typing, which I do occasionally. When I'm doing training, I'll bring up a Word document so that we can discuss the things that we're going to be talking about that day. So I'll bring up Google Docs and click plus and start up a new Google Docs, and they can see this then on their screen. So if I go full size, I can say, first thing we're going to talk about is access. The second one is training, that type of thing. And they can see it over there. Not train, but training. So if you have a PowerPoint or something of that sort, you can share that with them. as well. Now you can do this with Word or whatever. I use Google Docs a lot because it is free. It's part of my Gmail account and things of that sort. If I ever want to go back to my access panel, my host panel that people, so I can control things, I can bring this up here and it would bring up my meeting controls. Oh, sure it will. I've lost my meeting controls. There it is. When I went full screen, it went to the top. Apologies for that. So I can actually do a new share. So maybe I want to share a different screen, or I can share a particular item. So right now, as you can see, if I reduce this, let me go ahead and get rid of this here. If I minimize this, my host can see all this clutter here. They can see behind here, and I'll show you this when I join from the when I am an attendee. I'm going to do a third video that shows you as the attendee. They can see the whole thing, and maybe I want them to just see my Google screen. So what I click on here, I can do a new share, and I can say that I just want them to see this document, the untitled document Google Docs. So I click that and click share, and now you can see on my screen it shows just this green box, and on their screen they just see this window. It shows blacked out behind there until I go full screen. If I go full screen, it goes full screen for them. But other than that, though, it blacks out everything behind there, and they cannot see that. So if you had like a bunch of icons on your desktop or other things behind there, they wouldn't see that information. So that's how that works for that. If I wanted to show something on my iPad, and this is going to be tricky because I've not done this part yet, I could actually bring in my iPhone or iPad. Make sure I have that turned on. And I have my iPad here next to me, and I can click share, and it's going to, a plugin is required for that. Now it'll pop up, and I'll have to try that again, that feature again. And a plugin is required to share that, and you could do that. I'll do that in another video, so I'll just skip that for now. So you can share other devices. I do that with another service when I do training. If you've seen in my YouTube videos, I do that with my phone or my tablet to show how to do different things on there. But you can actually do that from this feature. So again, you can do just to share about anything in your screens. If you're doing a video, maybe you're just wanting to show something from YouTube or play songs or something like that. So I can optimize, I can share computer sound. So maybe I want to play music from my computer here and want you to be able to hear that. I could actually pull up a music file and play that, and you would hear that because it would be playing through my computer sound into yours. Or if we wanted to show, maybe there's a video that you wanted to share and do it that way, you could do a full screen video and share that as well. So maybe you have an MP4 file on your computer, you could actually show that and do share that through the system as well. So that comes in handy as well. And we'll try that even more so when we're doing it from the other end as an attendee. So you can see the different features. You want to make sure though that anytime that you click on any of these, nothing's going to happen until you click the share button. So we can do that as well. So if I was going to do one of these options to show a video, we would need to do this and then click share and then do that option. Once you're done, you can come back in here and check this off and use less resources. Maybe you don't want to share the sound from your computer. Set those options and click share. One other thing I want to show you here is the whiteboard. So we can click whiteboard and share, and it brings up this whiteboard experience. So maybe you're trying to talk to somebody, trying to explain, okay, they live on the intersection of, Holman and whatever. So you could actually, I could come up here and hit text, and I could say this is Holman Street, and I could do another one over here and say this is 25th Street. You can do different things like that. You can, of course, erase. You got stamps and things like that. Maybe I want to try to draw that a little bit better. Oops, click the erase again. Draw. Keep forgetting you need to actually click an element. I can use straight lines then instead of the scribbled line, instead of just the pencil. This is just a little bit different than the one I've used before, so that's why I'm struggling just a little bit on things. We can select. Maybe I want to select this and move it a little bit. Put this to 25th and this was Holman, type of thing. You can you have stamps, so maybe you want to put check mark here somewhere. So the different things there. So you have this whiteboard that you can kind of explain and talk to people about as well. You can save this, or you can clear everything, clear all my drawings, and it does that as well. And again, once you're done, you can close that and go back to your regular screen. I actually just closed the session, so I can actually go back to share again and either do another white screen. I can pick then the other screen that I want to show and do that. So it just remember that if you happen to close that X, you can actually, you haven't closed the meeting, but you can go back into the share and reshare again. You can also, you notice we have some other tools here. We can pause the share. So maybe you want to do something, step away, or just not show the screen, you can pause. And when you pause, it just freezes the other screen. Nothing happens on their end. It's just pausing it on your end. So it just stops at the last screen that you had shared. You can resume share. You can annotate. So it gives you kind of the drawing tools, but right on the thing that you have. If you have PowerPoint up or a Word document or something like that, it gives you those same drawing tools that we had on the whiteboard, but you actually are drawing on the screen on that document. So we can clear those. We can undo and step through those if we want. And then once you're done, you can actually close that and quit annotating again. So that comes in handy as well. I think that kind of goes over all the features that you can do. That you can pause recording, stop recording, and do different things like that. Hide floating menu meeting controls. For some reason, the last time it showed down here, and I'm not exactly sure why it popped up this time. We can mute. So if let me go back up here to the top. So we can mute. I can choose a different microphone if maybe I didn't use the right one. You can change different things like that. I can mute my microphone. You can, of course, again, manage the partners. So we have this screen here. If I go up and manage, I can actually mute from here. I can mute all. I can unmute all. We have a more feature here, so we can allow participants to unmute themselves. So maybe I've muted all, but then I go back and check this. That's if you have like 10 people on there and they're static coming from someone and you don't know what, you can mute them all and then allow the people to do that as well. Now, one feature I've been on a call before that did not have this option. It says play chime for enter exit. That means as new people come on, you hear this little chime, which is annoying if somebody comes in late. It's annoying. So like maybe their connections drop, they're on a weak signal, so they dial in, get back in, and get booted again. So then they come back in, so you're getting this constant chime. So I'm glad this service has that feature. You can also lock a meeting. So maybe you say everybody has to be here by 10 after, and at 10 after we lock the meeting. Now in this case that wouldn't happen, but that is a cool feature if you're doing other meetings and such of that. Again, you can mute here. You can also turn off somebody's webcam from here. So you can ask to start a video, which should show their screen, and go from there. I'm going to play with the video camera a little bit. One cool thing on the video feature on the webcam, they call it video, it's actually the webcam. You could actually have a fake background behind you, so it looks like you're somewhere else. And that's in the settings as well, on your video settings when you set up the account. You can choose from a different background, so it doesn't matter if you have a mess. I have a table behind me, it's usually a catch-all, so it's like projects I'm working on, stuff like that, or a pile of magazines or books, things that I'm working on or reading on, stuff like that. So I decided not to share that today. But that's how you would do that. You could actually show, if you had video, you could actually show everybody's screen on the video. So if the video is on, you can actually control that. I think you could actually, video settings. So right here, you can actually see my mess back there. Yep, you can see that I was looking on the other screen. So you can actually do those. Here's the virtual background. Don't mind the mess behind me. So you could actually, it says choose virtual background. I could actually add an image, which I would probably load from my computer. I thought they had some by default. So there's different settings like that. So you could actually set the ratios and things like of that sort. You can also set how many screens are on. So if you have 10 people, you could actually show all 10 videos on the screen and people could see each other. And things like that. So just get in there and play around, look around, but that's pretty much how you would host a meeting. Once you're done, you can stop the share. I could stop what they're saying. It would go back to the default screen. And then at any time we could either pause, stop the video. And once you're done with your meeting, you can then end the meeting. So it would say end meeting for all. leave the meeting, which means that you've assigned, and it gives you a little thing here. It says, to keep this meeting running, please assign a host before you click leave. So I could cancel this, go back and make this other person the host, and then come back in later, or then leave the meeting. So you could do that as well. But right now I'm just going to end the meeting for all. And since it started recording, it would say once that recording is ready, I could go back into my account and get that recording and share it if you have recording on. So I hope you found that useful. I rambled a little bit there, but I just wanted to show you some of the different features of how things went. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Maybe I can focus on a different, specific video for a certain thing if you have that question. But just let me know, and I'll be glad to get that information to you.